I think the ceiling Florida State has is real. Maybe a better way to say this, I think the lack of ceiling for Florida State is real. Now, before the year, hand up, I said I think they're going to probably hit the under on their win total. 7.5 is the number. I got them at 7. And for those of y'all saying, JD, you didn't believe in us, you doubted us, yeah, absolutely right. Won 2 games a year ago. What do you mean? Did anybody in the right mind think Florida State would go out there and whoop Alabama? If you had flipped the spread, Florida State would have covered that spread. Like, that in itself is ridiculous. I did not have that on my bingo card for week 1. No way around that. And I still have no idea what Florida State's going to be. I don't think any of us do. But the point that I'm trying to make here is we saw in this game, in week 1 of the college football season, what Florida State can be. And that's the real thing here. Florida State can now go compete for the ACC championship because of what we saw. Now, I'm not predicting it right now, but hear me clearly. Last year's Florida State team, what would they have done in that game? Scored what? A whopping 13 points, quit at half? That wasn't the team that rolled out there. It was a team that was aggressive, a team that had some fireworks to them, a team that played with a different temperature on defense, a team that had a swagger about themselves. That wasn't last year's team. And a big part of that, because of what we said going into that game. Hey, brand new outfit now, 40-plus new players, like darn near 5 new coaches, 2 new coordinators, new quarterback. It's a new outfit at Florida State. And that translated to this game. Now, every game going forward, we have to account for this data point. Even if Florida State goes out there and lays an egg in the coming weeks and they look awful, you still have to account now when Florida State plays Clemson. You have to say, well, it's possible that we see this level of output yet again from Florida State when they go play the big dog, when they go play Florida, when they go play Miami. Who's to say Florida State can't win those games? After this game, it's not me. It's not me. Now, the other thing that needs to be mentioned here, why I think the ceiling is more real for Florida State, think about the coordinator combo that FSU has. You got Tony White and Gus Malzahn, both called games, dude, against Alabama. Tony White got after Ty Simpson, kept them in check. Gus Malzahn put on an absolute clinic, passing out T-shirts and juice boxes afterward, and like they were on their P's and Q's, man. So if that's the coordinator combo we have, and I think even beyond just this game, the body of work both those guys bring to the table is impressive. But if that's the coordinator combo, how many games will Florida State just be straight up out game planned? Like maybe Clemson, you say that coordinator combo is pretty solid too, Garrett Riley and Tom Allen. But like for the most part, if you're not splitting hairs here, 80 to 90% of the games that Florida State has in front of them, I think their coordinator combo together should be an advantage for them going forward. So if you're telling me that's going to be a possibility for us, it comes down to, okay, what can your players bring you when it comes to execution? And execution, I think, in large part falls into the category of, well, what are you doing during the week when it comes to the focus, the intentionality? Because I'll say this, Florida State, people want to talk about how lackadaisical Bama was, and we even talked about it on our show yesterday. Like, hey, listen, they were not intentional. They did not bring their A game, whatever. Florida State brought it. So as much as you want to say Bama didn't play their best, Florida State, with what they brought on that day, it might have been the difference anyway. Like, just all things considered. Like, as talented as Bama is, I think you got to make sure you tip your hat to how well Florida State played. So I bring that point back to say, if it's about game plan being in a good place, and you've seen what your players can do, it falls into this category of, well, how does Florida State handle the ups and downs of this season? Starting with this game. Like, this game is a potential to be some caffeine for that team. How do you handle caffeine? Some of us now get a cup of coffee, empty stomach, a little bit jittery, a little bit nervous. Is the world ending? That's how you feel sometimes. Or the caffeine is like, hey, I could take on the freaking world right now, dude. Read a Harry Potter book in a matter of a half hour. Like it does not matter. It gives me more confidence, juices me up. What does this win do for Florida State? Does it cause them to be a little bit complacent? Everyone's talking about you now. You get a little bit more on edge. The expectations are ramped up a little bit, so you start to play and prepare differently. Or is it, no, we beat Bama, bring on whoever. We don't care. Tommy C talking his cash, hope he keeps doing it. Awesome. We're staying at the same output we had in this game versus everyone else. And if that's the case, again, Florida State, there's no game that I'm telling you they just are going to be massively outmatched in. That's how I feel about it. So the question in line with that is, what percent of this game schematically was like a max out for Florida State? Because I'm telling you, you're pulling out reverses with, I don't even know this, the ACC 400-meter record holder. That was ridiculous. You're rolling out reverses with that, dude. Do you have more bullets in the chamber? Are there more misdirections up the sleeve? Is there more answers off of the answers you showed in this game? Or was it like, hey, man, we're 13.5-point dogs at home. Yeah, we emptied the clip. JD, we emptied the playbook, and we should against Bama. Like, no fault of your own. But now understand that's on tape for Clemson, for Florida, for Miami, for Pitt. Like, you go down the line for Louisville, like all the way across the board. That's now out there for the good folks in Tallahassee. How do you re-rack and still have other answers to give teams problems is my point here. Because if they got more in the chamber, if they just hit 4 plates and they're like, nope, more, put more weight on the bar for us. Okay, then, again, all bets are off. But to make sure we say this very clearly as we finish out this segment, Florida State, what you saw, I think that ceiling is real. I would be very surprised if we see Florida State now fall off the face of planet Earth after taking belt to behind against Alabama, all right? That ceiling is real, and what they are the rest of the way is going to be a lot of fun to watch, man. Make no mistake about it.